1 second. All right, here we go. Okay, so I was just watching this thing with Dr. Peter Attia on the Huberman podcast, and he was saying that the most thing for brain health is exercise. Surprise, surprise. So we are going to just do a short session today. We'll start with breath. Inhale, open, stretch out and up. And exhale. I would say that it's movement because it's not just exercise. Exercise is great, but moving your body in diverse ways in diverse environments. And with novel movements where you're not just doing the same thing all the time, so that you're requiring different stuff of your neural pathways. Inhale, open. Exhale, using your breath. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, release. Fill up, expand, reach to the gods, reach to the ceiling, reach to the stars. And then exhale, let go. 2 more. Inhale, long body. And exhale. If we can feel our bodies, it's easier to do like imaginal work. Like, oh, I'm imagining my central channel, or I'm imagining, this light in my body, or I'm imagining healing or health or whatever. But if we can't feel our bodies, if we're not connected to sensation, and the best way to connect into sensation is through movement, in my opinion. Let's twist, looking around behind you. Yeah, so coming into sensation, feeling your body as a participatory event. You will be in your body mind for the rest of your life. You have, on this planet, you've always been in this body. So just bringing in maybe a kinder relationship with yourself, noticing your self-talk, and also taking care of yourself. Like, what does it mean? Eat food that's actually made of food. Sleep. Like, prioritize these things. Get outside, see the sun, be outside for a few hours a day if possible. Particularly in the morning, in the sunrise and the sunset. And then if you have extra wherewithal, do some hot and cold stuff. Hot plunging, cold plunging, or sauna. All of this stuff is good. Let's circle our shoulders, big circles. Mobilizing. I'm bending and straightening my knees. So it's a full body thing as I also do this shoulder circle. Let's get bigger. So think of your elbow reaching up to the corners, and then chest and lungs opening up. Arms, wings of the heart, wings of the lungs. And then change direction, starting small, just the shoulders circling up and over. Yeah, we have a glorious sunny day that is incredibly cold up here today. Yesterday, we had these really intense snow squalls, but then in the middle would be like a sunny period, and then another really so intense snow squall. So the weather is definitely doing some crazy stuff. Elbows lifting up and over. And then release that. Shake everything out. Have a little tantrum in your body, just releasing any stuckness, releasing any stuck energy, and then easy circles with your pelvis, gentle circles, mobilizing, letting yourself move through your feet. So I am shifting my weight around the edges of my foot as I make this circle. And then the other way. Moving into the fascial matrix, or anytime we're moving, the whole fascial matrix is moving, right? Think of like a 3-dimensional knit sweater that's holding all the fluid in your body. It's holding all the organs. It is, even like the veins, the material of the nerves, there's fascia creating that form. Good. And let's open wide into a big X, contralateral movement, cross body. So when we're moving, it's not like there's really no possibility ever of actually just isolating one muscle or one body part. Unless, of course, we're doing it with an electrode, and then it might work. But when we're in movement, so much of your body is working together. Crossing to the back. Expansive, big weight shift. See if you can touch your foot in the back, contralateral behind you. Feeling into the back space, awakening the back space. And then let's do this. Okay, take off the sweater. We're going to internally rotate and externally rotate. Internal rotation, curl, external rotation, arch. Exhale, hollow. Inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, last one. Exhale, inhale, shake it all out. We're going to do a really basic scale of movement. Vertical going up and down, horizontal crossing over and opening wide, and sagittal taking it backwards and forwards. Same thing, same side. Reaching up and down, vertical dimension, crossing over, opening wide, horizontal dimension, taking it backwards and forwards in the sagittal dimension. One more time. Up, down, cross, open, backwards, and forwards. Now we're going to dominate with the other side of the body. Up and down, vertical, step across, open it wide, horizontal, reaching backwards and forwards, sagittal again. So here we have the vertical, very much the I am, the horizontal, we are, the sagittal, I will. I will or I won't. I think of it as the I am, the we are, and the will. Cross it over, open it wide, take it backwards, and take it forward. So if you're having a hard time getting started on something, maybe try moving side to side for a little while, then see when you're ready to move forward, right? It's all in our body. And like if we listen into it, it will tell us what to do or what not to do from that body level, which usually is much more aligned in like a reality that is healthy for the whole than when we're just thinking from our heads. So really bringing the body into the equation, which may sound woo, but if you play with that, I bet you will notice that it's really true. If you take an idea and move it forward, move it back, cross it this way, that way, up, down, just feeling how it changes, how you feel about that thing. Kind of a layer of subtlety. Side. Long body. Reaching through the crown of your head, sit bones connected into the floor. And then circling the whole way around. And if you are new to me, you're watching this, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? Do it a couple of times and then you'll know, right? Layer in the information. If you feel like, oh my God, I can't do what she's doing, it's too fast, just repeat it, pause, do it however it works for you. And then we'll do a quick spiral towards the top leg, spiral towards the bottom leg, and change so your non-dominant leg is in front, whichever one doesn't feel comfortable. If it's uncomfortable to sit in a cross-legged position, you could even do this seated on a chair or elevate your pelvis somehow with your legs out. It doesn't have to be this cross-legged position. Let's go side side. We're going to just change the tempo, slowing it down a little bit. Getting that nice C curve from your tail through your fingertips. And my arm, this hand is spiraling down, so I'm connected in my rotator cuff. It's not popping up like that, it's down. Taking it to the side, hang out there, breathe into that. Taking it down over your knee, into the center, other knee, side stretch. And lengthen up, going back, side stretch, hang out, breathe into it. Take it down over your knee, into the center, other knee, side stretch, and open it up. This is really an integral part of my lower back feeling good, doing that where I'm coming around. Let's undo the cross legs and roll across one butt cheek and then the other. So massaging it out. Breathing. If you feel tight in your glutes, then take a little bit more time. Go slower, right? Take your time. Let the movement redistribute the fluid in and around your fascia. So if you have lactic acid in there, which like if you're sore, if you've done a bunch of glute work, or if your body is hurting, give it time to kind of adjust. And you can also kind of do shear so that the layers of muscle and fascia can slide and glide a little bit, just moving on one side and then the other. And then let's take it all the way down onto the floor. Knees into your chest. We're going to make circles with your legs. So easy circles, circling around. Massage, letting that circle lubricate up your hip socket. Lower back is just slightly curling and then maybe arching. Feet can be relaxed and change direction, go the other way. Helping the integrity of the femur head in your hip socket by doing this. Just giving it that nice circular movement. Ball and socket joints, which are femur into your hips, ball and socket joint, they love that round movement. And we're just stimulating that production of the synovial fluid in there, which is the grease, the WD-40 of your hips. All right, let's do that in another way. Let's lift the pelvis up and make circles with the pelvis. So we're warming up our hamstrings and our back, taking some weight on our legs. And again, we're circling that femur head in the hip socket, but in a very different way now. And change direction. Now we're also weight bearing and weight shifting as we do it. Go slow or go fast. Listen into your body. But try to, sometimes people just go fast because they're mindlessly doing the movement. Try to stay present with what it feels like to be moving. And if you're not used to feeling that, slow down and feel into it. Then we're going to lift up high. Take your hands down by your sides. If you can walk your shoulders closer together and interlace your hands behind your butt, go for it. You're going to inhale, knees wide, and exhale, touch them together. Inhale, roll open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale one more time. Bring it in. Open your hands, shoulders widen, slowly descend down to the floor, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down. When you get to the bottom, let's take a push with your feet. So you're doing like a sort of heel rock, but it's just pushing. You're sending a wave of movement up and down through your body. Let your belly stick out. See if you can get like a real ripple moving through. Head and neck bobbling up and down. So we're releasing, if there's like a lot of tension in the way that you hold your spine, your neck, your head, your jaw, see if you can soften that. Just let it go. Soft and easy. Maybe making a yum sound, like a deep, low rumble. That's the other thing I just learned from Huberman, is that when we hear low, like low vocal tone, it calms us down in an emotional way. The low vocal tone, low and slow, we're coming down. We're just going to roll gently from one side to the other, opening and closing. And I'm going to leave my feet on the floor, but you could pick up your knees or pick your feet up off the floor. Again, massaging out my shoulders, my hips, and relaxing my head and neck. as I roll from side to side. Letting go. The low rumble, letting the cells in your body just know that it's okay. Yeah, I just heard two things about a low rumble. One of them was a woman in Norway talking about how she, for the first time ever, felt she was sensing the sort of alive presence of a mountain, and it felt like a low rumbling hum. And then I heard Huberman talking about it. Is that like those things just came up in my feed? Is that an algorithm that Facebook, or not Facebook, YouTube is putting together for me? Probably. Let's shake out the legs and just give your hands, your calves a little bang. Gentle, loosening up anything in the back of the calves. Especially when it's slippery out or you're walking in snow, even walking in sand, you're going to have a differentiated thing. Although sand is going to give you more, it will be more work in a different way, probably less gripping. But when you're walking on snow and slipperiness, we tend to brace a little. So we want to let go of any bracing so that the flow can move through our muscles. And our fascia. Let's open up into a happy baby, wiggling around. Anytime that we're putting in these armoring bracing patterns, we are usually blocking emotional intelligence and awareness of our emotions, but also flow to the areas. So it's not just the emotional intelligence, but it's like tension masks flow. If something's being held, the fluids can't move easily through that place, which means it will not be getting the nutrition, the oxygen, and eliminating waste that it needs to do to be healthy. Let's just shake it all out. Shake, shake, shake. So shaking is a great way to release tension. Low rumble, rumbling low. Shake, shake, shake. Let it go. And let's take our hands behind our back. We're going to start, or it's kind of under your butt. You're going to start with small circles. If possible, point your toes, like really activate. So we don't mind activating our muscles, but then we want to make sure that we release them again, right? So we're not trying to just be a bowl of jello, never engaging muscles, but we don't want them to be chronically tense, chronically holding tension. I'm going to go bigger and bigger, and I'm going to start to flex as I open out and point as I come up. Big circle again for that hip socket. If you're getting popping and clicking as you do this, make it more specific. Really, you have two choices. You can either think of the legs really dropping down into the hip socket, or if you're hypermobile, that might be a good thing to think about. Or you can think of really lengthening out of the hip socket. And if you're a tighter person, maybe really reaching out in a way is going to be the best bet on that. I'm going to let myself go bigger, and I'm going to add a curl off the floor. That is a more advanced option. It's really up to you if you want to do that. Listen in. Don't injure yourself. Pay attention to what your body is saying. Good. And let's stop that. Open your feet so they're wider than your sticky mat. Just internally rotate one leg at a time. Big internal rotation, spiraling the fascia, the skin, the muscle, the bone in. So we're getting this internal rotation, feeling that, like I can feel that in my gut body, which feels actually really good. But don't limit your breathing here. Really let your breath fill up your belly. So breathing deep down into our guts. It's really just that our diaphragm is pushing our guts down, but it feels like we're breathing down into our guts. And then let's come in, pick up your butt, shake it, shake it, shake it. Let your spine realign itself. There's something else I wanted to do here. It was big twists. Arms outside side. You can do this small, or you can do it big. I'm going for starting with my knees bent. Nice little chiropractic adjustment for my own back as that happens. I'm turning my head away from my knees. And then after I've done it a few times, I'm going to reach out through my legs. I'm really feeling this massaging through the back of my hips. I'm also feeling my arms and my back working with my legs on this and my torso. So it's really a whole body activity. But that doesn't mean it's maximum tension. It's just what you need to do. And you can leave your legs bent if that feels better. Breathe. And then come onto your back. And let's just roll back and forth, rounding through your spine. And then flip over, coming onto your hands and knees. Yeah, so I'm planning to do a shorter one. And we started late. So let's see how this is going. Let's flip over, maybe another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll be done. Coming onto hands and knees. Let's do this. Take your hands further forward and just big circles with your hips again. So we're really working that relationship of the legs into the torso, legs to the pelvis. But also, as I come through here, I'm getting a nice stretch through the front of my guts and then through the back of my hips as I'm back there. Side, side, forward, backward. Change direction. Really move, big movement, unless it hurts. So we're mobilizing your pelvis. Last one. Come in, just a quick child's pose. Drop it down. So it's funny, I just saw a yoga teacher, Indian guy from India, and he was like, this is the wrong way to do child's pose. You have to do it like this. And I can see benefit to both of them. I feel like when I do child's pose with my knees bent, I get more of a curl, a rounded lower back, which my back actually needs because my hamstrings are really open. I need to stretch this in a rounded way more than in an elongated way. Like this isn't doing anything for me as far as stretch is concerned. It is in the front of my body, but not in my back body. So when somebody says this is absolutely the right way and this is absolutely the wrong way, I always think, is it? Is that true? And I test it out and see how it feels to me. All right, let's go with the opposite arm to leg. We're gonna find that diagonal, hold it. Let's just circle your wrist and ankle in one direction and then the other direction. If that's too much to think about, just hold it, lengthen, feel that diagonal through your body, reach it longer and release it down. Switching to the other opposite arm to leg, find it, circle your wrist and ankle, change direction, reach it longer and release. Back to the first side. You're going to reach it out, take it onto the diagonal, bring it back to midline and come down. Reach it out, find the diagonal, bring it into midline, take it down, out, open, bring it back, come down, out, open, bring it back, come down, long body, open, opening the front of your quad and hip flexor as you take your leg up. One more time each side. Last one. And take it down. Yeah, so my lower back tends to get tight. So I'm going to do that rounded version. Actually, I'm going to take my hands out in front of my head, interlace, and then roll up to the crown of my head and roll it back down. Rolling up and rolling down. Rolling up and rolling down. And then coming back up. So I want to just do this just to show the difference. And that is taking the same arm and leg off. So it's one side of the body and then the other. If you're going to fall over, don't go that high, right? But just feel what that's like. Like I can really open it to the side and that makes it a lot harder, but coming up. Yeah, so I'm just trying to sort of challenge myself. Good. And then we're going to come here and do, I'm going to face you so you can see it. We're going to do opposite arm to leg out to the side. So it's going to go out, 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 reaching. If it's too much to do the arms and legs, just choose one, either the upper or the lower. Two more, one each side. And let's take it down onto the floor, onto your back. Relax, breathe. Imagine that, so we did a little bit of work. Things are now starting to be more fluid in your body. Really take in the oxygen. Breathe as big as you need to breathe. Let that move through your whole body. You can just knee drop from side to side. In the Laban work, Laban Barteniev, I learned the concept of really growing and shrinking with the breath on a cellular level. So it's like there's this whole thing going on, which is providing this internal vitality, right, of tuning into that. If I do it in movement, I can kind of reach out on the inhale and come back in on the exhale, radiating out, bringing it back. Inhale, stretch and open. And you can do this in any way. I'm doing this side-side rolling because it feels good. Stretch and reach, exhale in. Or it could be here, inhale, open, exhale, close. Inhale, open, just a little exploration, exhale, close. Reach, extend, bring it in, reach it out, bring it in. Let's flip ourselves over onto our bellies. And so here's where it's going to be a little bit different. Well, is it? Maybe not. We can still think the same thing, that we're inhaling, open, exhaling, coming back in. Inhale, radiate out, exhale, down to earth. Inhale, stretch and open, exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach it out, stay up there, float it around, a little free flow, like you're flying in a cloud. Take your hands next to your chest, arch all the way up, then drop it back down. Use your breath. Inhale, crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. Maybe you're looking up, and release it down. Next one, if you want to, bend your knees, take your toes towards your head, and release it down. Two more like that. Optional bending of the knees or not. Last one. And take it back. Child's pose again. So my knees are more open this time, and I'm going to just shift a little bit from side to side, following my belly in and coming up. Just a couple more exercises and we're going to be done. So I'm going to do this because I feel like this really helped me rehab my knees, and that is coming up and just coming back down. If that's too much flexion in your knees, don't go very deep. If you can't be on your knees at all, skip this or do something totally different. You could do a downward dog, but I feel like this action is really doing wonders for my knee. You can also take it back like that, right? If I was super flexible, I don't know. I am super flexible, but if I was super flexible and strong, I could go further here and bring myself back up. But at this point, like, I'm more interested in function than major flexibility. One more. And then let's take it up. Curl. You're going to just dip one side down, push, dip the other side down, push. So I'm kind of taking my knee towards the floor and I'm doing a little bend in my elbows. Not a whole push up, just spiraling, pushing, spiraling, pushing. Four more. 3, 2, 1, and come out of that. Let's go with legs out in front. Flex your feet, walk it from side to side, forward fold. Soften your inner body. If your hamstrings are really tight, do this with bent knees. So you could do it here. You can even walk that with bent knees. Makes me think of those Star Wars things. I can't remember what they're called. Those big machines. Breathe. Shift your weight. And then come up. Let's cross our right ankle over our left knee. So my ankle is past my knee. I'm going to take it down here, breathing into it. Soften and melt. Big growing and shrinking with the breath inside your body. Big fill up on the inhale, release on the exhale. And then switch it to the other side. Take it down. So sometimes people think like, how long should I do this? How long should I be in a stretch? And there isn't an answer, depending on how hydrated you are, how old you are, you know, how accustomed you are, how fast your body responds. It's a different answer. So start to really listen to your body. Are you done? If you haven't done a whole lot of work, it might be done really fast, right? It might be like, okay, that's enough. But if you keep repeating, eventually that will be longer and longer. Not that you want to hang out in those stretches forever. Let's do soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana, take it down. Breathe. Relax your neck. I'm just going to micro move my shoulder blades. Maybe it's macro moving. Spine, a little bit of freedom. Then I'm going to come up and take my feet further away and try and put my head on the floor behind my heels. So taking it down here. And then coming up, give it a little bang. So really releasing tissue in the back of the hamstrings and the calves, right? So many people having hamstring, calf overstretches and injuries and tears. We want to soften that tissue up so it's more resilient and more available. So when you are moving, you're not going to just injure yourself, right? That's one of the things that movement does. Let's take it into a forward fold really quick. I'm going to go up onto my tippy toes and then take it, shift back towards my heels. You can do this with bent knees. Can you do it with bent knees? You can. Or straight legs. As I'm going forward and up, I'm taking my weight onto my arms. So it's like I'm prepping for a handstand. And I am using my feet and my toes to push me up there. Last one. And then come in open wide and shift from side to side. Free up your head tail connection. Let it go. Let those cushy marshmallow discs readjust for maximal vitality. So nothing is getting blocked. Roll it up, coming all the way up to standing. We're just going to do a couple standing quad stretches. And I'm going to use the wall, grab on, take it back. You can also do it without the wall, you know, feel free. I'm going to use the wall and I'm going to draw my heel into my butt and then I'm going to internally and externally rotate a little bit in the leg. And then I'm just going to kick it out, switching my hand around. Since I'm holding the wall, that makes this a lot easier. And release, switch it to the other side. Heel into my butt. I'm going to internally, externally rotate from the hip socket. So the tissue in my quad is getting some side-side movement, some more linear movement. So the layers, even the little fascicles, have some movement against each other. And then those are like the little, if you look inside like a grapefruit, the little buds, the little pearls of juice inside of the skin of the, which is like the fascia of the grapefruit. Good, release, shake it all out, shake it, shake it, shake it. Inhale, open. Exhale, shake it, shake it, shake it. Two more, inhale. Reach it out and up. Exhale, shake it out. Any extra crappy stuff in your body, shake it loose, let it go. Last one, inhale. Reach and exhale, let it go. Quick advertisement, I'm going to be teaching a Movement for Meditators course. It starts on February 4th. I will put it in, and it'll be 7 weeks on Sundays for an hour and 15 minutes, which will involve some of the space stuff, some stuff that people generally should do if they're sitting a lot, and then some somatic practice and some breath work.